All right, we are live, and I am in mourning. That's a
Oh
good
yeah, I have
overlay.
one. I have to see this. I have to see this. I have to see this. Oh my god. Yeah.
Isn't that stellar? Listen, we can't make a joke out of this. This is real pain I'm feeling right now. Okay.
No, this is real. This is sad. This is actually sad.
Yeah.
Let's have a moment of
If I
silence.
if I joke about it too much, I'll appear to be a tourist, and I don't want to do that.
No, yeah. Tourist, fucking dipshits. I totally wanted another fucking Navi in a game that isn't Zelda, guys. I love having an annoying side character that's just gonna go beep, you blorp, spork. Yep, that just happened. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
taxes.
definitely wanted a one of the one of the fucking one of the main characters from the Saints Row reboot as a fucking homie in a Metroid game.
Yeah, the only way that this can be redeemed is if, in the end, he dies by having fucking Ripley bite his head off,
Ripley, just
or
have
just
Ellen Ripley
swallow
show up?
him whole. Sorry, Ridley. Wait, yeah,
Ridley, okay, Ridley, yeah.
Ripley. Whoops. Now
The
I'm
only
the
the only way
tourist,
this is
which
going to be
is correct.
redeemed is if there's just hardcore porn of Samus at the end of the game.
Not with him though.
No,
God, what a freak.
God.
Okay,
Like,
so do you want to hear a funny story today to
sure,
lighten the mood?
sure.
So today is my is my last stream before I head off to my family's house for Thanksgiving. I'll still be on streams and stuff, but likely tomorrow I won't. Um, and so I was up all night because I wanted to kind of, I needed to check in for my flight at 7 a.m. And I get all checked in and everything. But so I'm going to warn you guys, do not fly with United ever. They are like the worst. They're like Delta Airlines level of bad
Mm-hmm.
from what I found out. So, first off, I found out that because of the basic like ticket that I have, I will not be allowed to bring a carry-on. I can have a personal item with me that goes underneath my my seat, but the carry-on has to be checked, and it's not free. You have to pay for it to be checked. Which for everyone who is a frequent flyer, you guys know that like places like Southwest and stuff will allow you to have a free carry-on as well. And I usually fly with Southwest. They're decent. But no, so United is gonna make me charge like 30 or 40 bucks to check my carry-on. So I'm like, okay, that's a setback. It's annoying, but I'm gonna deal with it. Cut to this morning. So I get all checked in, and I'm like waiting for an email for my my boarding passes. I don't get an email. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I look, and they're like, the only two options that they have on the website are you can open a PDF of your boarding passes, or you can get mobile boarding passes texted to you. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that one because I just prefer having a QR code that I can just slam on the little thingy and have it scan, and I can just get on the plane and go. I don't like having physical boarding passes because I am terrified of losing them. I don't think I've ever lost a boarding pass, but it's just, I worry. So I open up the first because they sent me 2 QR codes. One because it's technically one ticket, but because it's there's a connecting flight, I have to have 2 boarding passes because I have like an hour and a half overlay in Houston. So first QR code to Houston works fine, but then I try to click on the second QR code and it won't open, and it keeps, it just says like, oh, we had trouble checking in, even though I had already checked in at this point. And so I called my dad, even though he was so he's like basically on the end of like a camping trip, and he should be home now, but he was like, okay, so you're gonna have to probably contact someone at United. And I'm like, oh, okay. I hate having to call 1-800 numbers, but I'm gonna do it. But first, I was like, okay, well, let me try this virtual assistant to see if they can help. Massive mistake. I think because I was so tired, I didn't realize virtual assistant meant it was a fucking AI. So I texted it for like maybe 5 minutes or whatever, and it was not giving me the answers that I want. And so then at that point, I was just so frustrated, I started fucking with it. And so I was like, they're like, we can do this, blah, 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 blah. Did you find this helpful? Because they were basically telling me the exact same thing that I saw. And I'm like, no, this wasn't helpful. I need my boarding passes. One of them is not working. Because AI is fucking dog shit. But yet, companies are wanting to shill out for AI instead of actually, hiring people to have these kinds of jobs. And so, I'm like, I would prefer if you just email me the QR codes for the boarding passes. I can give you my email, and then the AI is like, sorry, we can't do that, blah, 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 blah. Did you find this helpful? And I'm like, are you an AI? I just straight up asked, because I was like, I wanted to be sure. And they're like, hello, I'm the virtual. I'm like, okay, this is an AI. And I'm like, yeah, no wonder you're of no help. And they're like, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you can message me to see how I can help you. And then I was just like, clanker.
Good.
Yeah, I was like, clanker. And then they're like, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, it just repeated the same message. And I was like, okay, this is clearly like not going anywhere. I got a little chuckle out of it, but I'm still like, stressed out. I get on a call. And it's a fucking Indian guy.
Oh, God.
And I was so worried. I'm like, oh my God, is this a scam? Am I going to get fucking scammed? No, he was actually really nice. Initially, I feel like there was a bit of a language barrier. But in the end, he did help me out and made sure to, like, because he was like, well, do you have the PDF? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to have to print it out. He's like, well, you can just zoom into the barcode, take a screenshot of that, and that will work as your ticket. And I'm like, wait, really? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. And I made sure to double check with him. I was like, this will work. And even though on my second ticket it says that the gate hasn't been decided yet, that's fine. Like, it'll be good. I mean, I already bought my ticket. I checked in. I have the boarding pass. It'll be fine. And he was like, yes, that should be good. And I also made sure to double check with him about my check bag. I'm like, because I have 2 boarding passes or stuff like that, that doesn't mean I'm gonna have to leave the terminal, go get my bag from baggage claim, to then, go back through security. And he was like, no. He laughed and he was like, no, that would just be incredibly inconvenience. It's going to be transferred through planes. And I was like, okay, cool. So in the end, the guy was really nice, but I had a jump scare. I'm like, oh God. It's been an eventful morning.
Apparently.
Yeah, so
yeah, so I'm not starting the mission just yet because I'm waiting for the time to tick over to 4 o'clock officially, because I am starting the giveaway at 4, and I have to do some stuff.
Nice.
I have to mess with some things to make it all work. So I'm waiting. I don't want to be in the middle of a mission when it happens. So So for those of you who don't know, I'm starting a giveaway today. There's multiple ways to enter and stuff, and basically I'm giving away a copy of The Last Faith on Steam, which is a kind of Souls-inspired Metroidvania side scroller. I got the game for free like a year ago, and to celebrate their 2-year anniversary of the game's launch, they announced that they're adding a free DLC to the game with like New Game Plus and like more weapons and some stuff like that. I don't know all what's in it yet, but I was like, well, I already got this game for free, and then now they're giving me a free DLC on top of it. So I was like, well, I want to support the developers, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna get a Steam key of the game and do a giveaway and give it away to someone, because I want to support the devs. So I bought it through like Humble Bundle, and also that donates to charity too, which is nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And I also, if you're wondering why my webcam is darkened and with rain pouring down, it is because today I am mourning the death of my favorite gaming franchise of all time, the Metroid franchise. I know I know the new game hasn't come out yet, but I have waited almost 20 years for this game. It's been my favorite gaming franchise since I was very young. It kind of fought with Legend of Zelda back and forth for a long time in my mind, but then when Zelda started to fall off with Twilight Princess and to Skyward Sword, I was like, Metroid. So now, with everything I've seen about Metroid Prime 4, I mean, I was hesitant because when Metroid Dread came out, Metroid Dread was like, it was okay. But it wasn't like, I knew it wasn't really the next big thing for Metroid, and it didn't live up to its name, and it wasn't really worth the wait, I wouldn't say. And it was definitely, it was better than Other M, I'll say that, but that's not a high bar.
No.
So then Metroid Prime 4 was announced, and they said they were going to be doing it with, I think, Bandai Namco initially, and I was like, what? Like, the Prime series was made by Retro Studios. Why are we giving it to some other company for the sequel, which this was teased by the original company at the end of the last game? Like, it makes no sense. And then, they scrapped everything that they made with them, and then moved it over to Retro Studios. I'm like, okay, as long as they give them the time they need to make it, I think that'll be fine. And then we start finally seeing what's happening with this game some 7 years after it was announced, something like that. And it's like, oh, they gave Samus a motorcycle. They gave the woman who can run faster than the speed of sound a motorcycle.
A fucking motorcycle, yeah.
To get around. That is so stupid. And they reduced the amount of planets from the previous game to just being one planet again, which is like, why did you do that? So scale reduction yet again. I'm so sad. But then but that stuff is just, it's red flag, but it's not like, it's not the worst thing ever. But then the final nail in the coffin came, or pretty much the final nail in the coffin came when I found out yesterday that there's a like a quirky, bumbling doofus nerdy like comic relief sidekick character for Samus, which sort of kills the whole idea of the isolationist feel of the Metroid franchise, which was inspired by the horror movie franchise Alien, because Ellen Ripley, I mean, Samus is sort of a parallel for her and that kind of thing. Like, there's so much that's like really weird about it, and then this character apparently acts as like a sidekick who guides you and like shows you where to go and stuff like that, which is like not something we like having in Metroid games anyways. And the writing is some of the worst stupid observational humor millennial writing crap that, you know, everybody's been sick of for a while, especially with cape shit. As much as I like the Marvel franchise, you know, I understand where they're coming from with that quippy shit. But now it's just like in a game like that, after we went from having a character like giving Samus a voice and no personality to a character with the most like annoying personality, pretty much. Like we didn't need to put Claptrap into Metroid. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't need shit like that. Not that Claptrap is the same type of character, but he is. I hate to say it, Borderlands fans. Claptrap is fucking annoying. I fucking hate Claptrap. I also hate Borderlands, but that's beside the point. Anyways, let's get this this thing on the going, and
Get it on the do.
raid the DOJ for the Epstein files. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing done. Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna go with my goofy build today again. I like it. I like it too much. Hopefully we get some good music today. All right. Yeah, no, it's very sad that we can't, like, man. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm so passionate about the Metroid franchise, and seeing the discourse around this new game is also really disappointing because there's so many people who are defending this choice, and you have some of the classic lines like, "Oh, the game's not out yet. How do you know if it's good or bad?" Oh, what like people who people hating on this are just tourists. There's a lot of weird shit like that, and then I also saw somebody refer to this new game as looking like Temu Halo, and I'm like, Halo was edgelord Metroid. What are you talking about? Like when Halo 4 came out, people were calling hell, when the original Halo came out, everyone compared it to Metroid in terms of its art design because it's a character in a bounty, like in a power armor, right? It's gonna be compared. It's a space adventure, that kind of thing. But let me just clarify: I'm not a fucking tourist. Metroid is seriously my favorite game franchise of all time, or at least it was. And I'm gonna stay open-minded. If the game turns out to be like really cool or interesting, or do some really interesting things with the franchise, I'll give it a chance. But I was already like not planning to buy this game because of how like frustrated I am at Nintendo. And yes, I did an entire stream talking about how much I hate Nintendo now, even though I used to be such a big fanboy. And I did a video where I directly address all of my, well, the main like pain points I have with Nintendo and how I think that they're, you know, they've fallen off as a company since Satoru Iwata passed. But yeah, Metroid is a very like important franchise to me, and like I'm not a tourist. I'm just mad that they put Ballara from Veilguard in my Metroid game. Get the fuck out, you stupid bimbo. Oh god, and the writing, like I saw somebody on Twitter say that they're going to start firing writers into the sun one by one until writing improves. And I was like, I support this.
I stand it.
Yeah, the Codex Astartes supports this action. But the Codex says, well, I can't read.
Well, joke's on you, because I can't read.
Yeah. Pour one out for the late great Metroid franchise. Dread. So I haven't really fully talked about all my feelings on Dread either. Like Dread is not publicly, anyways, but Dread was something that was like, it was mid, but I was willing to give it a pass because it was the first new decent Metroid content we'd gotten in a while. The last game we got before that was the Metroid 2 remake, which was not that good, to be honest. It lost the atmosphere of the original. Kind of went for this more cartoony, like, Journey to the Savage Planet look, which I don't think suits Metroid in any way. And prior to that, we got Metroid Prime Federation Force, which was really bad. Samus was not really even in it. But Metroid Dread, I was like willing to give it a bit of a pass because, you know, I knew it wasn't the big thing they were making. They were working on for the Metroid franchise. It was kind of a surprise drop out of nowhere. But it didn't live up to the name Dread. Like it didn't fill anybody with dread. Like I don't even think I don't even think like the most fucking nervous, anxious, fearful child would have been scared by that game. Metroid Prime 1 maybe, because there's beetles that come out of the ground and ram you, and that shit scared me as a kid. But yeah.
It's just crazy.
Every franchise is going down. Also, the new Zelda movie appears to be like sort of like going with a Breath of the Wild inspiration. I don't know if the story is going to be Breath of the Wild focused, but I fucking hope not, because it's the second worst story they've ever told in Zelda, at least for the mainline games.
It's so dumb. Why wouldn't you just do Ocarina of Time?
I saw someone say, someone else had said that too. They were like, why didn't they just do Ocarina of Time? Like this should have been, it would have been so much better if it was Ocarina. And someone responded with, because of course they're going to go with their most popular game in the franchise, not your niche GameCube game. And I'm like, niche GameCube game? That
was bait.
It has to be.
Bait. That's not.
It has to be bait. Except the fact that it's in a reply. If it was a quote retweet, then I would think that yeah, bait would make more sense. But it was a reply. So how much engagement can they possibly farm with that?
I think they're just people that are actively that fucking stupid, to be fair, I guess. But it's just like Ocarina of Time was like the biggest game for Nintendo because it was the first 3D Zelda, wasn't it?
It was the first 3D Zelda, and it was one of the biggest like midnight release games ever.
Oh, whoops.
And GameCube game that came out on the N64.
That's why I think it was bait.
But yeah, like
niche GameCube game,
and niche. Like it was one of the most landmark games on the N64 ever. It's been widely hailed as the best Zelda game of all time. It isn't. Mm-hmm. That title, I think, goes to Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, yeah.
Majora's Mask is my favorite. I love that game, but I don't think it's the best Zelda game. I just like the theming a lot better, and I like the mechanics and stuff, and just how dreary it is. Wind Waker, I think, just it took the Zelda formula to the next level, and had a lot of really cool ideas. And while the art style didn't impress me at the time, because I was just like, why are they getting I'm never going to escape the allegations of being into kiddie games if all they're ever going to do with my favorite games is make them fucking more kid-friendly looking. I didn't want a Saturday morning cartoon as a game. I was growing up with those games, and I wanted them to kind of grow up with me.
Well, excuse me, princess.
But the art style has aged exceptionally well. It looks great. The HD remake doesn't even look different. It really, it's got widescreen support now. That's it. It doesn't need anything else, because it's pretty. I mean, to be fair, there are certain little graphical upgrades, but they're barely noticeable. Even to the trained eye, like mine. I have a trained eye. And like Twilight Princess...
I trained my eye.
I liked Twilight Princess when I first played it, and I like the painterly look of everything. I like that every moment of that game looks like a painting. I like how it went for the dark and brooding look again. The story was mostly good. The story was mostly good until they killed off the best new villain they've ever had.
To replace him with Ganon again. But then Ganon's design in that game is so peak. Like, he's so cool in that game.
I don't like him at all in that game. I don't like his look. Yeah, I think he just looks weirdly chunky. And I don't find him threatening in any way. And he also doesn't do anything. He shows up, kills Zant, and that's it. That's the whole thing. That's it. That's all he does. He sits in the castle for the rest of the game and doesn't do anything. Zant had been fucking with the player character, with Link, for the entirety of the game, and Midna for the entirety of the game up to that point. And then we fight him, and he just dies, and that's it. And then Ganon is the new villain, and we have to spend the rest of the game preparing to fight him. And I'm just like, and I think Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time looked cooler. I liked his more lithe look. He looked like a badass that was going to kill me. He also had that creepy, like, super angular face where he just, like, very sallow cheeks, and he just like a monster, and I loved it. I didn't completely hate the design of Ganon in Twilight Princess. I just didn't think it was really as imposing, I guess. Especially when they brought him into the Smash Brothers games, and he was even slower than he was in Melee. Get over here, Chonkster. Get your shit moving, bruh. But yeah, Twilight Princess's story fell off, and in terms of gameplay, Twilight Princess was a gigantic step back from Wind Waker. A much smaller feeling world. The swordplay was way more simplified again. It tried to take inspiration from Wind Waker, but it felt like a prequel to Wind Waker's gameplay than being as good or on par with it, or better. This
was even. What, Skyward Sword? Is that what you said?
No, Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah.
Skyward Sword was an experimental game that just failed in every regard. The graphics look the worst in the series. It just looks barren and kind of ugly. It tried to mix Twilight Princess with Ocarina of Time and ended up making kind of a generic, ugly, cel-shaded game that I was really not into, with no real expression compared to Wind Waker. Wind Waker had way better expression. But then the gameplay was the worst in the series, easily. In terms of mainline gameplay, it was the worst in the series. I don't know if I could say. I would say it's worse than Spirit Tracks. Not Spirit Tracks. Phantom Hourglass. I hated Phantom Hourglass, but at least Phantom Hourglass was a side game on a portable console, whereas Skyward Sword had no excuse to be as unfucking playable as it was. And the thing is I've been a staunch defender of motion controls on the Wii since it came out. I loved the Wii. I thought the motion controls worked fine, like, all the time for me. I like never had issues with them until Skyward Sword, where they brought in more precise motion controls, and they didn't work. And I'm like, how did you make it worse? What? And then Breath of the Wild, I think, is just really lame. I don't mind some of the mechanics. I think the gameplay is mostly fine, but the story sucks. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I think it focused more on the visuals and stuff rather than, like, the actual meat of it. Because, like, visually, I love the game. It's visually stunning. The music is some of my favorite, like, game music.
Which a lot of people try to copy and not successfully, in my opinion.
Oh, no. Yeah, like, but there's just something about, like, the story and the fact that they added voice acting, and it's, like, most of the time really fucking bad.
Yep, and they added voice acting for the first time in a Zelda game, like actually voice acted, like, dialogue for the first time in a Zelda game, and they did it for characters that you never meet.
Yeah, that are already dead.
That are already fucking dead. I mean, spoilers, I guess, but back when Pixar was good, Pixar had like a set of rules that they sort of followed for all their storytelling, for all their writing. And one of the rules is that you should always set your stories in the most interesting part of the timeline. Because otherwise, what's the point of telling the story? It's a way to ensure that your stories justify their own existence. They have a reason to exist. And Breath of the Wild breaks that rule and doesn't do anything interesting by breaking that rule. Because you can break rules like that and do it for a good reason and make it really interesting, but they didn't. They just told the most boring story. Like, the world is already dead. It's already screwed. And there's plenty of games that take place in ruined worlds. But they're interesting because of other reasons.
Is there even any, like, time travel shenanigans in that game?
No, the only games that really had time travel shenanigans were like Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
Or, I thought Link to the Past also did, too.
Nope.
Really?
Link to the Past is called that, and I don't know why, because there's no time travel in that game that I remember. I've played through it a couple of times. It's you go to the Dark World, which was the sort of the beginning of the Nintendo trope of doing a Dark World in every one of their games, which is why I refuse to accept Metroid Prime 2 Echoes as the best Prime game, because the Dark World shit was kind of played out at that point. It had some of the best art design and some of the best like location design and stuff, but not as interesting to me as the multi-planet excursion that was Prime 3. Now, Prime 3's gameplay wasn't I don't think the strongest necessarily in the series, but I did like it a lot in terms of what it was doing.
That's another thing, too. I don't hear a lot of people talking about Link Between Worlds, even though that gimmick for that game was honestly pretty cool and kind of reminiscent of, like, Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that one, and I remember enjoying it, but I also don't remember it. It was a very forgettable game. It doesn't do anything. Like, I don't remember anything like really being that interesting from that game, because like I felt like the main mechanic of that game of like going into the 2D plane, I thought that main mechanic was not explored that well. Like, they didn't do much with it. It was something that was there, but it didn't really, like, I don't know. I was never like stumped by it. It never changed the way that I explored, really. Like, I would say that Mario, Super Paper Mario on the Wii did a better job of that, because you switch between 3D and 2D in that game, and it works great. And they do some really interesting things with it, but... I wonder if we'll get Kash Patel in the mission today.
Yeah, I just gotta mention the word honeypot and maybe he'll arrive.
Talk about Air Force One, or not Air Force One, but the private jet.
Yeah, you gotta shittily edit the VOD so that right as they say honeypot, it's like, all right, we got a captain. It's like, oh, whoa, it actually did it. We're shit! So many views,
dude. I'm pulling the BBC and misleading people by splicing clips out of order.
Yeah, we learned from the best.
Or worse, depending on your viewpoint. Okay, I gotta go to the security office.
Yeah, I only found one other
yeah, we kind of got
thing.
Like gypped on keycards today. Or I guess that's not a politically correct word anymore, but I don't give a shit.
Whoa, you can't say that!
It's like people telling me that I can't say peanut gallery anymore. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's silly. Well, it's like, because like, I can actually see why, like, gypped would actually be, like, an issue, because, you know, it's directly referencing a fucking group of people, but at the same time, like, I feel like it's been so separated at this point that like it's just like at this point, like, what do you mean?
Well, well, and here's the thing, right? I think like I have a couple of sort of thoughts on that because like I think those people tend to have bigger issues to deal with than a word that disparages them slightly, but isn't even being used to disparage them specifically. It just originated that way. And also, I gotta be honest, I ain't never met one. Have you ever met one? I literally have no opinion on those people at all because I've never met them. I have no opinion on them. I don't have any feelings about them whatsoever because I don't know them.
I think I knew someone who... No. I don't think I have, actually. Like, I mean, because I grew up in California, I don't think we had a lot of, like, any kinds of, like, travelers or whatever. Like, because most of those people are, like, you know, you have a lot of, like, travelers who are, you know, Irish travelers. And stuff. Yeah. I did on Nextdoor. Someone was being racist and doing some shit. Like a while back, there were apparently some people who were like panhandling, saying that they were getting money for a funeral. But then this woman was like, "No, they're not. They're just gypsies trying to get money." And I was like, "That's even if they are, that's fucking racist, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
Well, and so
like, I actually called it out.
I said that I don't have an opinion or any feelings on gypsies, but that's actually not true. I do actually have an opinion on it because I have a very basic principle or basic set of principles that I follow for everything, and one of them is that like humans are varied and diverse, but we also have a lot of things in common. And one of the things that we have in common is that every group of people has its bad actors. Pretty much. Like, there's
of course.
Very few exceptions to that. Every group of people has its bad actors. Like, there are, like, whether it's race, religion, country, city, fucking your own family, your own town. Like, there's gonna be certain members of any group of people that make the rest of that group look bad. And, like, ignoring that those types of people exist in every fucking classification of person there is dishonest and kind of stupid, because generally most groups of people that I've ever met tend to be like, yeah, there's some people that I like in my group that I just fucking don't approve of their behavior and how they represent us. Because it's true for me too. Like, I don't hate white people. I hate stupid people who focus on their race and hate other races for no fucking reason.
Yeah, like, I hate Richard Spencer. He is a self-proclaimed Nazi and white supremacist, and I think that kind of shit is gross. And obviously, like, you know, white people have the fucking, like, KKK and everything, and it's fucking terrible. Like, I wish that they did not exist. And it's not an all or nothing thing.
Yeah,
too.
we're not.
It's not like,
just like any other group, we're not monolithic. We've got more diversity than just, you know, the KKK or Nazism. Like, there's more types of people.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like saying, you know, it's just not a good move to be like, oh, all of these people in this group are bad, or the opposite of that, oh, none of these people in this group are bad, because it's an overgeneralization, and humans are way more complex than that, you know.
Yeah.
And you also got to figure out, like, you know, because you have people, like, you know, being called racist and stuff, but not because they actually, like, hate other races, but just because they're sheltered and maybe grew up in, like, a very, like, you know, like I guess an example would be like, you know, it would be me, for example. Like when I was a very young child, I hadn't. Oh shit! There he is.
He finally showed up.
There we go. But like when I was a child, I hadn't really seen any black people before. But one day, my mom was driving through the Wendy's drive-thru, and I saw my first black lady. And the first thing I said was, and this is, you know, bear in mind I'm maybe 3 years old. First time I ever see a black person, I was like, "Mommy, she's so beautiful. She looks like chocolate."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is exceptionally racist. Like, you clearly hate them. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, obviously. It was my internalized racism at 3 years old.
Yep. Well, there's some people who believe that it's genetic,
There
right?
will be
There's the
accountability.
Cash Patel counter. Okay, it finally happened. Took a second.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah,
you know, like, that would probably be considered a fucking faux pas, you know, not something really acceptable to say. But one, I was a child, and two, you know, even if I wasn't, like, that was said out of pure love.
yeah. Well,
Maybe I was also hungry too, so I was like, she looks like chocolate.
yeah, there's a ton of stories I've heard from other people who, you know, see their black person for the first time and are in awe by them and actually say something similar to that of like, oh, they look like chocolate. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, you know, kids will be kids. They just we start to notice things. And, you know, our first experience with something new is always going to be, you know, life-changing at a young age. But yeah, like... but of course like I said, there's always those people that they're outliers that are kind of like, you know, not cool people.
An extremely vocal minority.
Yeah, and I don't, and that's the thing. Like, if everyone seems like an asshole, go out and meet some people IRL. Because if you spend a lot of time online, it seems like everybody is just kind of the same, and they're kind of all assholes. But in reality, most people are very chill and like aren't like black and white thinkers. They have a little bit more nuance.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, you got a key card, so just go ahead and go unlock the door for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna run ahead. Oh, there's another key card right there. Oh my god.
Oh, well.
It was in the potted plant, I guess. But the potted plant isn't there on my screen anymore.
It got destroyed, yeah, it looks like.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before.
I think it got blown up by your grenades.
Probably, because I was blowing up Cash Patel and his cavalcade of creeps.
It's good.
Good work.
Good work.
Fuck me.
Wanker. Backstabbing wanker, innit?
Backstabbing wanker.
Wanker. He's a wanker. Oh, those are... That first one, you guys, fugly.
Oh yeah,
God.
it is astonishingly fugly. I think I might have to use it because of that. I think I have the skin that you got too already.
I don't know even what gun that's for.
It's like a Glock.
Glock
All pistols are
skin.
Glocks, by the way. That's just how that works.
Sorry. Hashtag all pistols are Glocks.
Hashtag all pistols are Glocks.
Hashtag not all guns.
Hashtag most guns.
Hashtag sometimes. You know?
Yeah. I'll get you.
Sorry, I'm stretching.
How dare you?
Shut up.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'll be back tomorrow to raid the DOJ again. Might be a solo stream. And
Most likely will be.
yeah, make sure to enter the giveaway. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.